All right, good morning, everybody. We are getting a nice, bright, and early start to the day. It's about 6:35 a.m. We're gonna continue grinding away on our web app, which I finally bought the domain for. So, Video Docs, I was unable to get my hands on. Someone owns that, and they don't want to sell it to me. So we will be going with videodevdocs.com. Which will be the domain name that I bought on a side note. But with all that being said, before we get going into the code, and we're going to do some pretty cool stuff today, we're actually going to spend a little bit of time designing some stuff. We're going to probably take care of a slight fix to the navigation. We're going to continue to build out some of the progressive web app stuff. I'm going to add a service worker, and I'm going to do a little bit of the mockups. And I'll probably build a course component, and we'll see. Fix the modal, all that sort of stuff. The alert service, that's something that I want to do as well. So we built our alert last time. So we got quite a bit to do anytime you're trying to launch a application. But before we do that, let's do a little shameless plug to myself. I just released my 100 front-end interview questions challenge, which is the highest rated in its category. And I of course also have the 100 algorithms challenge, which ain't too shabby. 4.5, I'll take that. I think that's pretty solid. But if you're interested in getting prepped for those technical screens, whether they be the whiteboard problems or the more technical phone screen type problems, I highly encourage you to check out my courses. There's links in the description where you can get them for just $9.99 or use coupon code CodingGod. All right, so now that we've done the shameless promo, let's go ahead and get our day started for realsies. So let me bring up my Trello board over here. Get the chat all situated. Getting situated. All right. It's 6:30 a.m. here, so we're getting going here. I get up at 5:45 every day. That's cool. So as always, we want to start by launching our test. So yeah, I'm gonna be a little sluggish till this caffeine kicks in, though. I usually start my day with 2 cups of coffee, like one back to back, no like gap in between. And then around one more cup of coffee. All this energy back to the caffeine. Just a coffee. No monsters, just coffee. Although I did have a monster for the first time in like a week last night because we were out late. Okay, cool. So our tests are passing. We can launch our little browser preview extension that we've been using. If we go to gotta make sure we relaunch the app. Gotta hit that T. I'm about that tea life right now. I'm enjoying the coffee. So like, you don't want to go too drastic. How did you decide that this was the project you wanted to do? Dude, I've had this idea forever. I've always really liked W3 schools, and I've always really liked Mozilla Docs. And I said to myself, people use them for two different. There's 2 ways that my site's going to differentiate itself from other documentation sites. The one thing is the video. I was like, I wish they just had like 1-minute videos on each one of these subjects on there, which is a lot of content creation, and once you start talking about different languages, it's going to get very hard. And 2, I wish they had a simple version and an advanced version. And so like you'll see as I'm building out the docs, like when we get to the code example, we have these tabs, and like this isn't obviously fully baked yet. We're still working on it. But you're going to be able to switch to and the idea here between basic and advanced is like the TLDR version that you get on W3 schools. Advanced would be like the Mozilla version. That's kind of the idea there. But that's really the premise for the application. Okay, cool. So last time we built this. And now we need to put some, we're going to put it on the main app page. 1 second, guys. I got to get some fucking batteries. My mouse is dying. Alright. But yeah, it's just been something that has combined my passion for software and my passion for education and content creation. Browser preview dead for anyone else? It's working for me. You guys don't see it? Well, it's on my video. Alright, cool. Alright, so let's go to our, now that we designed it, we have to deal with some of the higher level stuff. And we're gonna touch it up right down the road, but alright, so let's go to sweet. So this is gonna live outside the main site containers. Let's just go to our homepage real quick. Alright, so obviously that's not what what we want, right? We don't want that. So what we want is for this to be like position fixed, and we want it to be off. You see that? Oh, you start up as just a blank screen? Well, yeah, you have to go to where you want it to go. You have to go like localhost 4200, something like that. All right, so a couple things. One, we're gonna have 3 of these. We just need to see a little bit of it right now. I don't care about app CSS. I care about. So. Alright, alert component. Alert component, yes. So. This is shown is going to be what controls how this is styled and if we even see it. And we're going to need to apply some classes dynamically on it. Alright, cool. So we have NGS shown. I don't really want it to be as shown. But let's do this. Anytime I like playing around. So like the one short thing about the browser preview, it's so it doesn't really let you play around with it. So instead, all right, what do we want this? We want this to be position fixed. And if we do that, you'll see it's off the page. It exists, but it's off the page. And so, yeah. I think that's still the same. Yeah. So I think we want to do position fixed. And then we want to, if we do, try to do position fixed. God, I did this in my alert video. You guys remember that? It's 6:45 for me. So I think actually the position's fine. We just have to change the Z index now that I look at it. We'll start there. So Z dash index colon 2. Oops. Hmm. 2000? Oh, you know what? Our footer's wrong. We don't want our footer to be fixed like that. We just want it to be forced to the bottom. So let's get our footer. Gotta love CSS sometimes. Okay. And now I get it. So now that we've done that, this could be now I broke everything. Oh, I think I threw the grid off. Shit. Do I want the footer to be stuck there every single time? No, I think that's fine. I really do. Alright. One second, I gotta look at some code examples real quick. Some of my own code examples. Illuminati. I don't remember where I put the file. Okay. Okay. Cool. So if I did this right now I'm trying to build my alert notification to pop up and be hidden. Alright. So we'll probably convert that to an Angular animation down the road. And then we want this to have these attributes. So display grid we already have. We'll do alright, cool. So there we go. And now that it's there, let's see here. Alright, cool. So it looks like our app alert is off the screen now, which is what we want, right? It's not it. Is CSS popular? So a lot more people use Flexbox than CSS Grid. I like CSS Grid. People who complain about CSS Grid not being compatible are talking about Internet Explorer, and I don't even waste my time thinking about Internet Explorer. So you want to waste your time thinking about Internet Explorer? Be my guest, but I won't be here to do it with you. So alright, so now that we've done that, let's see if we did this right. Ooh, that was rough, wasn't it? Maybe. Alright, that looked better on here. Now, we're gonna have to do something slightly different. Let me refresh that real quick. Alright, so I'm good, Connor. How are you? Good morning, Code Poppy. Alright, cool. So I forget the animation property to keep CSS. Alright, so first thing I want to do is currently we're going to do this. Alright, so I'm going to change my animation. Oh, I changed it in the wrong file. I was sorry, my bad, guys. I have two editors open right now. I was like, all right, so We're playing around with the animation a little bit right here. But we're getting close. We just gotta fix this animation. Alright, and obviously 7 seconds is way too long, so we're gonna drop that down to about 3 to come up. See how that looks. Even that's way too long. 2. That's still way too long. 1 maybe? 1.5. Alright, Alright, so I think it's this one. Animation dash fill dash mode forwards. I think that will keep our animation. So after it happens, it's gonna stay in place until we do something with it. Excellent. Not too shabby. We're almost there. Is it weird to use Angular, Bootstrap, and jQuery on one page? You don't need jQuery in an Angular application. That's the weird part. Alright, so... Alright, so we did the hard part. So we got this going. Now what we have to do is, so this is our animation here. Slide up. You don't feel quite so awkward about muttering to myself? I know. Tell me about it. Alright, so we have our slide up animation. And all we're really doing here is we're moving this down 200 pixels off the screen. And then when it loads, we're sliding it up. But we don't necessarily want it to load this. We're going to put this in a class. We'll just call it isShown. Alright, so now we're going to go to our alert component.html and we'll do class.isShown is equal to isShown. And I think we could honestly just remove this ngIf. Well, we'll leave it there for now. Come on, man! I was really expecting that shit to work, man. Let's, It has this shown. Oh, I know what I did wrong. You just hear the frustration in my voice as I'm dealing with animations. There we go. Yeah. Like, no, that should have worked. All right. All right. So. What I also want to do right now is have it slide down, so when there is no classes shown. CSS remove class animation. Is there a not? I know how to reverse it, but you know what? I could do this. This is kind of hacky. So this is what I'm thinking here. So is shown and is dash not shown. Actually, is closed. And then we'll take this same animation and then animation. We just want to reverse it. Reverse animation, CSS. Animation direction. There's a way to reverse your animation. I just can't remember what it's called. Animation direction reverse. All right. All right. So the idea here. God, I can't see the chat today. It's so small. What? Got his eyes refactored years ago. Love seeing the clean code principles live. Yeah, we're gonna clean up a little bit of the CSS, but I am doing my best to try and keep it professional. All right, now that we've done that, what we want to do here, we might go and transition this later on to and now we're definitely gonna get rid of this. Put it here for now for just a second. All right. I'll take it. Where's my not my Trello board? I thought that was gonna work. All right, let's try this real quick. So let's just even see if our CSS is correct. To me, that looks right. All right, so our alert component class dot is shown is closed. All right. All right, so let's refresh. Comes back up. Now we have our app alert, specifically on our. So if I throw this on there, that. Oh, I wonder if I need this also. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna get this. Oh, it's the animation direction that messes it up. I could write another animation, but I don't have to. I just need to get better with animations. I just want it. I don't actually want to change. Give me a second. All right, so like the hacky thing to do is this. This is the hacky thing to do. This is what I'm trying to avoid right now. The problem is I don't do animations a ton. You got 20. You got 20 in blackjack. Stick with it. Yeah. So. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't focus too much. Like, there is something true about going down the rabbit hole. Oh, right, wrong one. So that's not supposed to happen. Alright, so cool. Alright, so we didn't break it sliding up. I knew it'd work. I just don't want to do it that way. Alright, we'll call it a W. Alright, so I'll show you execute for it. Oh, there it goes. So we have a slide up animation. And to clean this up just a little bit, we'll call this alert offset to 200px. Anytime you're using variables in your CSS, anytime you're using repeat numbers in your CSS, you definitely want to store it in a variable, whether that's a CSS custom property or whether that's, SAS variable. All right, cool. So we're gonna obviously have to make this more complex. So like what we would normally do, like, hey, when you answer cookies, there's gonna be like local storage saying, hey, either you have a cookie or you don't. So we need to set that up. But before we do that, let's go ahead and just commit this. Okay, so this alert, we're going to have one alert that takes in various properties. And what we want that alert to do, like we don't want to have to create an alert for, oh, cookie notification, and then, oh, I don't know, you're running ad blocker, dog, can't you help a brother out notification? I don't know what you call that. And we obviously don't want that triggered every time. So, so let me look up real quick. So the reason I want to do the cookie notification is this thing called GDPR, cookie notification. And so I figure I might as well build it real quick. Alright, so if we go to our application, see, we should have some cookies. Now, I could do this in local storage. Let me see real quick if there's a benefit of doing cookies versus local storage. Alright, so we don't have a server side for the app yet, so I think we'll just use local storage. Alright, cool. Alright, cool. So in our alert component, let's go to our mocks. How do I want to do this? I'm debating about creating an abstract class for local storage. Part of the reason is if I ever decide I want to make this application server-side rendered, it'd be really easy because I already have it set up. The other is it makes it easier to test. What I want to do. Yeah, let's go to mock local storage. Every time I don't do it, I fucking regret it. Actually, let's do this. Alright, cool. So public, excuse me, export abstract class, local storage. Oh my god, my mouse, man. Let me just see what properties are part of local storage. I think it's get item, set item. I think they have a couple other ones. Alright, so we're going to have a set item. This will take in a key, which will be a string. Let's take in a value, which will be a string, and this will return nothing. Alright, cool. So we have set item. We have get item. And all this will have is a key, a string. And this will return a string. I suppose if we want to, we might as well type out the rest of this. Do we really want to type out the rest of this? I think the answer is no. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is create a service that handles local storage. That extends our abstract class. Alright. So now what we're gonna do is just essentially rewrite these values here. And with a key, just a string. And a value that is a string, and this returns a string. And what we're gonna do is say return local storage at get item. Actually, that's all we need. We don't need value, do we? See, I just want to look at someone else's abstraction example. Okay, so they're actually changing how it functions. All right. For our use case, we're just going to We should do some this. All right. So now that we've done that, we've created our local storage service, we've created our abstract class, and we haven't done anything with our alert component, with our, we're doing CSS. We haven't done anything with it, but we first need to go into our shared, go to our shared module, and we need to start adding a service. I just did this somewhere else. Views. Yeah. Category. I'm just going to the category module real quick. And do something like this. All right. And in our providers, except this will be a local storage. This will be local storage. All right, cool. So now we've abstracted out some of our local storage so that we won't have too many issues with it. And well, honestly, might have to make tweaks, but this is how I would prefer to use local storage. So one of the reasons you use abstraction is so that shit doesn't blow up, and it's easier to mock things. It's also you have the ability here to say we change how we actually use, quote unquote local storage. We don't like using the global window object. We can do that relatively easily in one location versus 500. All right, so if we were going to do this right, let's go ahead and write our test, right? What's so funny, Connor? Cool. So this is a service. All right, cool. I can use the bathroom real quick, guys, and then we will write the test for the local storage, and then we'll hook it up to this for this cookie notification. All right, I'm back. All right, let's change the music real quick. Where's my boy Haywire at? Okay, so we can't really test local storage itself. What we can do is test that certain functions are called. So we have our arrange, we have our act, we have our assert. Give me 1 second. It's been a while since I've done this in Jasmine. So in not Jasmine Food. So it goes. Spy. Yeah. There we go. So here we're going to spy on service, and we're also going to spy on, let's close this for a second. No, excuse me, we're going to spy on local storage. And we're going to spy on get item. And why is my TS lint not working? I'm going to have to investigate that. Because that should be single quotes for sure. Alright, so we are expecting local storage dot get item to have been called when we act upon the service dot get item. And then we pass in some key. So let's see if we can get that to work. Alright, cool. So that passes. Now, let's see if we can go one step deeper. Make sure it's passing a value. So, const key equals some key. And in here, we're going to pass in our key. Having the same issue with TS lint? Yeah, it was working the other day. Called with key. I think that will work. Cool. So now what we've done is we've actually tested, like, although we're testing that we're calling local storage, we're listening for local storage for function call, and then when we're triggering it, and then here we were saying, okay, set item, cool. Gets item, sets item. So on the set item, we're going to take in a key and a value. I think that should be it. All right, cool. So now our local storage service is completely tested. Everything's good to go. Don't need to worry about that. All right, now to actually using it in our application. First thing we're gonna do is create is needed. We'll set this to a boolean equal to false. Okay. So now the reason we're gonna do that is we're gonna have two things. One, if it is shown, and by default it's going to be. What am I doing here? Localhost. Alright. So what we want to do here is we want to know if it's a valid use case that it has. So we are going to have is needed and is shown right now. So that should break that animation from showing. But of course, if is needed was true, everything would work accordingly, right? All right, cool. All right, All right, so what we have to do is we have to create a service that listens to a data stream using an observable that we're gonna push to. God, it's been a while since I've done that. All right, give me a second to think this out. Let me see here. All right. All right, let's do this. So new folder, service. Oh, sorry. This is we need to put add injectable. What was that, baby? 1 second, guys. Okay. All right. All right. So let's go and start here. So we're gonna have to use my least favorite thing in the world, which is RxJS, to create our service. We're going to have a subject. What do you want to call this? And then we're going to have a method here called let's do it this way. Public get alert. And our alert's gonna take in our we'll just params of any for now. Actually, in our case, we're gonna have a type, which will be of type alert. We're going to wrong alert. We're going to have a title of type string, like, and we're gonna have of content of type string. All right, now that we've done that, what else do we want to do? We're gonna we're going to... Oh, and also, we probably want to add, if we want to even show this, so we'll have something like local storage key. And we'll put string. And we would have this dot alert subject dot. Is it push? Trying to remember how to add to the subject. I thought it was push. Dot next might be it. I pass in an object and we'll just put key test. Alright, so let me see if I did this right. So what I'm trying to do here is create a observable string. Question, I'm trying to get a modal to hover when I hover over a link, but when I hover over the modal, it disappears because I got a mouse leave event on the link. Any ideas? Remove the mouse leave event on the link. Have them manually close it. Okay, so basically what we want to do here. You might as well type this out. So we'll have type, title, content, and then local storage key. All right. So in our constructor, let's go ahead and move all this. All right. In our constructor, we're gonna need a couple things. Well, first, we're gonna need a public alert service of type alert service. Cool. And then on here, we're going to take this dot alert service dot alert subject dot subscribe data and now our tests are blowing up. So just for now, let's just make this optional. So we don't... Because honestly, I don't know if this is going to work because it's been so long since I've done something like this. Console log data. No provider for alert service. Thank you. We're gonna clean this up once I get some semblance of it working. So, all right, just gonna log the data. Hey, Gator, come here, big boy. Get in here. Come on, inside. You wanna say hi to everybody? You guys wanna see my dog? The second love of my life. Come here, big boy. Big boy. How you doing, big boy? Remember my puppy? Any of you saw my puppy from 7 months ago? Oh, here, you can take Daddy's chair. Oh, big boy. Oh. Big puppy. There you go. That's my boy, Gator. As the French like to say, Gator. I know it's a bad joke. I like it though. All right. So what's happening here is that we are listening to this subject, and when it changes, we're going to push some data and do something with it. So let's pretend that we wanted to call that alert service from the category page. We're on like JavaScript, right? And let's go to our category component. Dude, he's 70 pounds, man. He's a beast. He's a beast. Ah. What steps would you make to make your app secure from hackers? Well, first and foremost, I'd put everything on a I would put everything security-wise server side. That's probably the best thing you do. Secondly, just start implementing basic things. You want to have all your passwords and stuff like that encrypted, not stored in plain text files. Dude, so his litter was only 3, and he was twice the size of his brother and his sister. When we got him, we're like, this dog's gonna be a beast, and we just liked his mentality. It was very calm, very mellow. I love that dog. Okay, like my arms are a little sore just from picking him up, right? It's like deadlifting 70 pounds. Alright. Alright, so we have our alert service. And just throw this on here for a second. Yeah, he's a good dog. All our pets are really good. So let's just say that we said this dot alert service dot subject dot alert service dot get alert, and we passed in alert dot info, pass in a title, we pass in content, and we pass in key. Alright, so if I set this up properly, what should happen come on, man. Come on, man. Let me try something real quick. Oh, you know what I might have to do? Real quick before I do anything. I don't know that I want a subject. I actually think I want an observable. Let me see here. Yeah, I think I want this as an observable. All right. All right, give me a second here. I hate RxJS. Go back to that should work. It really should. Why are you messing with me, RxJS? All right. Maybe because maybe the alert service isn't subscribed yet. So that's what I'm hoping. So let's just create a little public add. Throw it in here. Put that there. Jump on to our category page.html. Button. Add. Click. Equals. Add. Now let's jump back to our alert component. All right. We're on the category page. We have add. Why do you do this to me, RxJS? So we have a subject. Okay, let's try this. So oh my god. RxJS. from everything I see here. Oh shit, I wonder. I bet I know what it is. I think it's because we're lazy loading all our modules. Watch this. I bet that's it. I bet the subject that's there is new for each lazy loaded module. So let's go to alright, so let's say our alert service was getting called. Let's go to components. Let's go to category module. Let's just add alert service here real quick. I think this is going to need to be app wide anyhow. Let's see if this is it. No. I thought for sure that was it. Oh my goodness. That's frustrating. It's passing the data. That's good. Let's see a really bootleg way to see if you have multiple things here that's causing issues. Just our observables are out of sync. See? We have 0 and we have 1. So, which is to be expected because we're injecting it. So we need to treat our Angular service as a singleton. That's what we need to do right now. Because essentially what's happening is our alerts are out of sync. So let's try this. So let's go to our alert service. See if this helps. Alert service. Injectable. Oh, that didn't help. Let's take it out of there. Still being injected. So in our app module, this is where we're going to provide it. Alert service. One second. Use existing Angular. Cannot. I might have to reach out to my buddy on this one. I think we definitely have something wrong with our alert service set up here. We're close, so I think it's because our observables are out of sync. Or that's what I think's happening here. Oh shit, did I get it? That was it. We just needed, see how we only have one left? We needed to, because our app module goes before our view modules. Alright, we're there, boys. It took me a second to fix it. Dope. Alright, so cool. So our alert service is going to be, I think I'm going to move our entire alert stuff over. So let's fix everything we did, but we got it working. So all right, so let's get rid of that. Let me get rid of that. So now what can happen is that we have this alert that can get called from any part of the application and do whatever it needs to do. And we'll set that up in a second. Okay. I don't think I need that as observable either. So we're just going and clean up all the crap that we put as we're trying to debug this. Category component. Leave that. Nice. Cool. All right. First thing first, let's clear this. Fix all these dependency issues. So we might have broken some tests by, and this, I don't think so though. I think we cleaned it all up, but now that we've done that, we can get rid of this. Get rid of this. Alright, so we broke something. Let's bring up our test screen. Alright. Cannot read property, alert subject if undefined. Alert component. Got it. Okay. So we need to go fix some. Okay, so first thing we do, we just do this. No. Alright. No, I didn't fix it. Alright, so I believe we're actually supposed to have this in our ng on init. I believe that's the Angular recommendation. It is for asynchronous stuff, and that's essentially async. So let's see if that solves that. We're going to have to solve it for here as well, but... No? Alright, cool. So what we'll do here... Const alert service equals new alert service. Now, because this is being used, I don't think we actually even need a mock. I think we can just use this. Alright, so I think they should fix the test, but we have to write some additional ones, right? And we'll get to that in a second. Kevin Lopez says, "Yo, Dylan, I finally got hired, man. I'm a junior front-end dev. I'm keeping up with the other devs thanks to your videos." Hey, good job, Kevin. Congrats on you, man. Yeah, thanks, Connor. No worries, man. All right, here's like I'm a big believer that you should dive in deeper than where you're at, and if you're ready, the idea being that you should always be pushing yourself and be uncomfortable. And if you are, you'll get better. So okay, so we have alert service here. That's fine, like so. And we're gonna. All right, so now that we've done this, we have created a single alert service that has allowed us anywhere in the application to call it and use it. Now, what we're going to do within our alert service we set up here is we're going to do a check to see if we need to call our alert, essentially. Remember, we have this is needed, it's valid. So before we do that, I think it's a good time to make a commit. So it's a nice service. I don't remember if we tested that. No, I didn't. Yeah, don't worry about your junior title, man. Alright. So many browsers. Alright. Alright. Alright, so cool. We did our 2 generic tests. Now let's actually just test some stuff that actually matters. So here we'll do something like let service of type. Yeah. If I ever skip things in this, as I'm like, I'm going to come back to it, I don't necessarily want this entire series to be me debugging. So, like, you can learn a lot from debugging, but I'll debug for maybe 15 minutes. If I don't have it for, if I can't solve something in 15 minutes, maybe 30 at most, it's time to move on. You can ask for help. You can come back to it. It just sort of depends on what you want to do. But for me, I'm not here to really just sit here and have you guys stare at me in frustration. Sometimes it's just better to move on to other parts of it as well. So, alright, so let's bring our alert service up. Cool, and I don't like the name get alert. It's more like call alert. So I'm gonna rename that in a second. Call alert. Because it doesn't really get it right. It's just calling it. So let's go to our alert component. Oh, I don't think we're actually using this anywhere yet, are we? I just deleted all that code, right? Okay. So, yeah, one thing I'd say, a lot of people are afraid to change file structures and things like that. Don't be afraid, man. Your file structure should evolve as your application evolves, and things need to be in the context that makes sense for the app. That's why unit tests are so important, is you want to make sure that you have testing as you're updating the application, so you don't have to be afraid of the code. Never be afraid of the code. Code is dumb. All right. So all we're gonna do here is for our range, we're gonna have service dot alert subject dot subscribe. Is this Angular? Yeah. And this is gonna take in some data, right? And then we're going to assert const alert data is equal to we'll say type is equal to alert.info. Honestly, 4, by the way, I never would go longer than 4. So we very well might make that its own type down the road. Info const title is equal, like 3 is usually the cap. I'm just being lazy right now. Some title const content equals some Let me message April real quick, see if she'll get me a coffee. Feeling a little drowsy here. Alright, and then const some key. Alright. Act is going to be service dot call alert. Pass in. So we have type title. Actually, there's none of that. Type title. Content. The search key. Actually, this is just my key. Some key. Alright, and we're going to expect that the data dot type dot to be type. What is the recommended backend for Angular? You can do whatever you want, man. Alright, let's can I read property alert subject if undefined? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Oh. Dot. Oh, I see. I forgot to put this in. And let's see here. All right. Cool. So you can see that data.type. We can make this a little bit more verbose, right? We passed in all these values. This can be title. This can be title. This can be content. This can be content. This can be some key. This can actually, this is going to be local storage key. I should probably just name this. Alright. That's good. The last thing we have to do, I think, is just throw a done in here. So when you're testing all this sort of stuff, observables, I should say, you need this done so that you don't get stuck in your memory loop and it starts blowing up after the fact. Alright, cool. Get stage dot, get commit dash, added test for alert service. I know testing's not the most exciting thing in the world, but trust me, guys, it's definitely worth doing. npm run start. npm start. All right, I'm gonna go get a coffee. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Cool. All right, we've been going about 2 hours. I'm gonna keep going, but before we do that, I'd like to do a shameless plug to my courses one more time. If you guys like to support me, you always can through fan funding, all that sort of stuff, Patreon. But the way that I think is the best way to support me, because you get something out of it, is by checking out my courses. So that my two latest ones, or my latest course, is the 100 Front-End Interview Question Challenge, where we cover over 100 front-end interview questions that you should be able to understand, grasp, and challenge yourself, and make sure that you kill those technical screens. You can get that and my 100 Algorithm Challenge, which normally goes for $200, for just $9.99 with the coupon code CodingGod in the description below. There's a link there. Just click it. Check it out. It's 125 lectures, almost 10 hours of content. Got a 5-star rating. Pretty cool course. I worked very hard on it. Very proud of it. And a lot of people are liking it. So check it out. All right. So we did that. So, whew. All right. So we created an alert service. We did a lot of... So you'll notice that I always try and build my stuff to make sure that it lasts. And so our alert service, rather than just hard coding something to call an alert one time, we now have built this nice service to go with it that we can call from any sort of point forward. So, all right. Now that we've done that, we have to compile a list of... we're going to compile as our GDPR list. So, how do I want to do this? I think that's what we're going to do. Create a private function. So we don't actually need to use this surface yet, because the alert that we're going to get that pops up is really going to be for any sort of, regardless of any page that you're on. So we're going to simply remove this real quick. I already did that. Okay, cool. So I think we're actually going to update our values manually here. Is that what I want to do? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think out how I want to call global service, global alerts, a global alert service call. Like, I guess it's part of app, right? You definitely don't want too much logic in your app component. And we don't really have anything in here, but like, this data is coming out without a doubt. Okay. I think I'm going to do it in the alert itself. Okay. So... next what we need to do is we're going to use local storage. So remember we created our local storage, Create our abstract local storage. Cool. Yes. We are going to. Am I planning to do a course on unit testing? Sort of. I'm thinking of updating my adding an hour or two of unit testing stuff into my algorithm course. And I also have another course called Code Like a Pro, where dev testing will be a large portion of that. So now we've added this as a dependency. We need to make sure the app module has access to it. Instead of the shared module, I'm gonna put this in the app module because again, this local storage thing is gonna be app wide as far as I'm concerned. Although that's fine. It's fine where it's at. Okay, so now we've done that. Let's fix some tests real quick. Let's see. Not what I meant to do. Okay. I haven't actually done anything with it yet, so it's not going to blow up quite yet. Coming soon. Test breaking near you. Alright, so what I'm thinking for this must call alerts are there's going to be very few alerts, but some we're going to have to call without a doubt. And we don't want to spam the user, so couple things here. We're going to do a I think we're going to create an enum. So within our local storage, so one thing you're going to start seeing is like I use enums for everything, and you should too. Or objects, you're just doing regular JavaScript. The reason for it is you'll start seeing that, you know, as we start to your application starts to expand, you'll start to have magic strings floating all around, and that's never any good. So instead, just create an enum and reference that, and then you know exactly what you have. Is there a naming convention? Local storage key naming convention? Let's see. Yeah, I don't see anything. We'll just treat it as it. Okay, so now we've done that in our alert component. We will do a we'll do this if. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit, Michael, with that. So don't expect that tomorrow or anything. But like, I mean, right now the next major thing I'll be releasing. So I just released the course like 2 weeks ago, but within a month to 6 weeks, we'll be releasing the podcast that Eric and I have been working on. That'll be the next major thing coming out from me. Hidden in the ground, hot. I don't know how our kids would say it. And then I'm not sure after that, but right now I'm putting a lot of my effort into this project. I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, that'll be the next major thing that comes. Okay, so if that's not defined, any coding related podcasts I listen to, occasionally I listen to my old colleagues, the Six Figure Dev. I was on there. Eric was on there as well. But I like that one. They're sort of relaxed and they have fun and practical. I don't really listen to too many like technical podcasts. I think really if you want to get technical, you do exactly what I'm doing here. You just start building some shit. Okay. So if this local storage cookie notification doesn't exist, I want to set a timeout. Not set timeout. Is there a Angular set timeout properly? I don't mind doing set timeout. Let's see how so set timeout causes some weird stuff. So I'm just this is a good way of doing it. I like this better. Just use promises. Well, this still uses set timeout. Well, I kind of like this implementation. It's clean. I can see why this got upvoted. So like, watch this. This is gonna be pretty dope, right? All right. So what we're doing here is we're just creating a delay, and then in here, we're gonna await our delay for like, I don't know, like how long do we want to await this? 3 seconds. We don't necessarily want our well, do we even need to delay it? I don't think we need to delay it. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so if this is the case, first thing we want to do is we want to say this dot local storage dot set item. Key here is going to be local storage key dot cookie notification, and then we're just going to put true. That's fine. So they've officially been notified. Or actually, I don't think for this one we want it necessarily to be true. I think we want them to have to actually click that. So this probably goes here. Cool, and that might break something. But here we are then going to say this dot is needed equal to true. Can I read set item of null? Okay. So before we move forward, let's go ahead and fix our test. Close all this. I think we have to create a mock local storage. Alright. This should be pretty quick. I gotta stop putting so many things on my so I think I listed 4 things of what we're gonna be. Yeah, what did I say we were gonna do today? I was like, all right, we're gonna do the alert service, we're gonna do the modal, we're gonna do the service worker, and we're gonna do details mock up. It's like we're on alert service still. Modal will go quick because we already started that. Service worker and will go quick. Details mock up. It's probably gonna happen off stream. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our local storage mock real quick. Cool. We need 2 things. We need these 2. All right, and got that. Got that. And then we'll create 2 public properties here. So we'll say public key, public say last item. It's a string. Return last item. Actually, let's do this. Storage. All right, and then this dot storage key. All right. All right, so that's our mock local storage that we're going to use in our test. We're essentially just creating an object here, passing a key to it. No big deal. Go back to here. So now instead of, let's go ahead and create. Actually, this is going to be F-type mock local storage. I think we'll need to do something like this as well up here in a second, so might as well do it right now. Okay, cool. So not only does it close an alert now, so let's close all of this, is we added some new functionality that when it closes the alert, we actually, we don't know that it's going to be the cookie notification. We want to create a key here called public local storage key. Just be a string. We'll just set it to an empty string for now. And then we'll say this dot local storage key is equal to local storage key dot cookie notification. All right, and that's actually not a string up there. This is a local storage key. Oops. All right, so when we close it, we will set this item here to this dot local storage key. All right. Let's test this real quick. It updates storage. So alert is called just once. All right, so let's do the arrange component dot local storage key is equal to local storage key dot cookie notification. All right, cool. Now when we do the act, we will set the assert, or we will say component dot close, and then we'll do our assert, and we will expect that our component dot local storage dot expect mock local storage service dot storage dot clean this up in a second. I think all right, cool. So close has been updated, so it's only going to get called once. We have our logic here for must call alerts. And then what we can do here is we can say this dot must call alerts. These are alerts that are going to get fired off instantaneously. Let's close, 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 close. I'm trying to think of a nice way of doing this without a bunch of nested else ifs. But I think this is honestly how we have to do this. Okay, so update is needed, and then we have the alert service. So this dot alert service dot call alert. And what are you going to pass in here? Well, I'm going to pass in, no, not an object. We're going to pass in the type that will be alert dot info. Pass in the title, which will be yeah. So we're not gonna need any of that anymore. Oh, they are. They're just not gonna be inputs. And so I think we'll even do one step farther. Private call cookie notification. Alright, and before we go forward anymore, not what I wanted. I wanted out component. All right. All right. So once we do this, this is going to call our alert service and push it. Do we even want to call the alert service? Give me a second. I don't think we even want to call the alert service. Like it's backwards, right? We're calling it to set it. Why don't we just set it? This alert service is for the exterior. Yeah, that's backwards. That's fine. So instead, all right, guys. if we did this properly, shouldn't come up again. There we go. There we go. And you can see in our application and local store. There it is. Cookie notification true. We can delete this. Bam. We now have a service notification for popping up and down. It's completely animated. We can call the notifications anywhere we want in the application. We just have to add a little bit of logic. Very nice. And this is just of type void. We didn't end up using any asynchronous code for this. We didn't do anything with this either, but the data that's coming through, if we go to our alert subject, will be an object of this. Just even doing this makes me think I should just make an alert object. Yeah, let's go ahead and make an alert model. Alright, so we're gonna have to rename this to alert types. Rename this to alert types.eno.ts. This will clean up some of our code also. PogChamp. Hey. And we're going to clean some of this other stuff up in just a second as well. You know what's funny is I once had a colleague who did something very similar to this, and it took him a month. It's like, bro, you collecting checks. Like, all right, so once we have fixed all our alert component.ts, so that's really what that is anyhow. So once we finish this, we're going to create an alert model, which will clean up a lot of this stuff. Alright, so in here we'll say alert.model.ts export class alert. We have a public type. This is of type alert types. We have new music. we have a public title, public content, oops, and we also have public local storage key type string. Actually, of type local storage key. All right. Right. Do we want to shorten this to key? I think we could. Yeah, let's shorten it to key. So in Europe, there's this thing called GDPR, and it's against the law for you not to notify the user that you're using cookies on your site. So, yeah, more or less. That's why you get them all on the website. The last year or so. So, am I really worried that I'm going to get in trouble for not doing it on this app? No, but I'm trying to build a production application that's going to be available for the public, and my goal is to show you what you would be doing. And so we built an alert service that, yeah, we're only using it for this first thing, but the next time we want to do another alert, we have it set up. It's easy to go. Everything's solid, you know? Yeah. So, I mean, I know in organizations, pretty much every organization is completely worried about it. All right, now that we've done that, let's jump back up to her, and we can combine this into one object, which I think it should be. Public data. I'm just gonna call it alert up type alert. By default, this is gonna be a new alert. Cool. Then when the data comes in, we can say this dot alert equals new alert, and then we'll just pass in the data like so. So that's set up. And then down here, this dot alert equals new alert, and in here we pass an object. We'll have type, title, type, title, content, key. Excellent. All right, that should still be fine. Instead, this will be alert dot key. Might have to update our test here. Cool, so we have a new alert here. Passing our alert type. We're gonna have to update our code in a second. I'll comment that out because that's all gonna be replaced with this. And now in our alert service, we can instead pass in a alert. I'll type alert. And what we want to do here is just return alert. Cleans that up a little bit. And then service.call alert. I think that will have fixed the test. This is something I should have done from the get-go. Line 51. Alert service, general call. Alert. See what happens here after we refresh our test. Do I think you should follow along? If you're just starting out with HTML, CSS, you might pick up some things, but a lot of it's going to be over your head. That's okay for the most part. All right, so let's jump back to here. But yeah, it's gonna be a little hard for you to follow along, I imagine. Alert dot type. Alert dot type. Alert dot title. Alert dot content. Alright, I think we fixed everything now. So if I delete cookie notification and I refresh, cool. It's a lot cleaner, right? Like, so typically when you get around 3 or 4 properties, anything more than 3, and the same goes for like passing things in, is like this should probably be an object. And now we've simplified a lot of our logic here. It's cleaned it up. We're not passing in 4 or 5 different values. And And we could even go one step further and pass this into the alert itself, and I think I will. So I don't think we need this. Okay, cool. That's a little bit better, right? So content's always going to be hard. Do I think free code camp is all one needs to learn? No, I always recommend that you use multiple resources. When learning anything. All right. Let's just a nice little push here. Thanks, Zach. All right, so we have one more test we need to write. So we don't have an on init thing yet. So basically we need to make sure that our cookie notifications called on initialization. Calls cookie notification if not previously called. So in our range, we'll do something like mock local storage service dot storage dot dot local storage key. Actually, it's just already. We can do this. We'll just set it equal to an empty object to show that there's nothing in it. And then we will assert or act component dot ng on init. Then we will assert, we'll expect that our mock local storage service dot get item local storage key dot cookie notification to be true. I think that's right. Sorry, I forgot we're dealing with our mock. Alright, so that should be fine. All right, let's debug a little bit our test here. So in our console here. So our test is not behaving the way that I think it should be. So we're going to do a preserve log. This test specifically is failing. So the first thing that you want to do when your test is failing is focus it, because this will tell you if there's external factors at play. If it passes now, and then it fails later on. Okay, so not the case. But we can focus all the same just to see what's going on. So let's start by console.logging mock local storage service dot storage, and we get an empty string. All right, so let's start by console logging this value. Undefined. Okay. So that seems right so far. Let's see if we log it in here. Oh. Let's clear that real quick. Let's see if we get undefined again. We do in fact still get undefined. All right, so now we're at wait a second. We don't actually set local storage till they close it, so I wrote a bad test. My code works fine. Here, all we do is update this .alert, and that's what we really care about. And we can just simply check that the is needed is true. Okay. I got it now. Cool. Take that F off it. So we care about a couple of different things. So we check that component.alert .key should be local storage key dot cookie notification. And you're saying, well, you might say, like, Dylan, shouldn't we test the content as well? No, because content can change, but this key should always be the same. And so you don't want to make your test too fragile. And we also want to expect that component dot is needed to be true. All right, one more. Cool. All right, we fixed our test. Very nice. We have a nice component that gets called if you haven't messed with it yet. Everything's working. I think, minus some minor UI tweaks that we'll do down the road, I think we're done with our alert and alert service. All right. Let's take a look at it one more time. This was a good one. That looks good. I haven't done anything on mobile, but I'm curious how it looks. I'm sure it looks like dog shit because I've gone out of my way not to do anything on mobile because I didn't want to worry about it. But let's just see. Yeah, we can definitely do better. We'll get to it when the time comes. So cool. All right. So our notification Our alert notification is completely working. Everything we want it to be and more. Let's go to our Trello board. Update the Trello board. Cookie notification was in progress. I'd even say alert and cookie are moved over. Have been completed. All right. Do you want to fix the modal? Man. What I want to do. That might be a good spot to stop for now. How long have we been going? Almost 3 hours. Oh my god. Yeah, let's stop there. I gotta get some breakfast. But I think that's pretty good. I might do a second live stream today. We'll see. I got some other stuff I gotta do. I still want to keep coding, so that's sort of where we're at. I'll take questions for a few minutes if anybody has anything. But if not, again, check out my courses. There's links in the description below. I appreciate it. Get them for $9.99. All that good stuff. Become a coding god yourself. Yeah, it was a good stream today. We got the alert service. The content of your application, we don't have any content quite yet, but I can do a quick run through of what we have so far. So like all right, so we have 2 pages currently, and they're not done. The home page, we have our social media. So on the home page, we have, these are category links, although I don't even remember if I linked them. Yeah, I know. I need to add this as a link to the categories. And I don't know if I'm going to keep the homepage this simple. I have some ideas on how to spice it up. But so we have the homepage, fully lazy loaded, and then we have our social media here, a little hover effect, nothing crazy. And then we have our navigation, which you can open and close. And then we have, active state on the navigation. We have, of course, then we have these are going to be like recommended books. These are going to be buttons that are going to take you to like the Boolean section or the array section. And this is just a list of resources I'm going to add something to. And other than that, in the toast notification, we have that's what we have right now. Doesn't seem like a lot, but we've built it pretty well, I think. And so it's fully tested. We building stuff so that we don't have to rebuild it. I think it's going to come out really nice. So what I'm going to be working on later today is designing the next page and the iteration and how that's supposed to look. And so I still have to work on this JavaScript category page, but that's where we're at right now. So we have quite a bit of content that we still need to do. We have this dynamic stars. I need to connect to an Amazon API. Maybe. We'll see. I might just hard code it. But that's what we have. So we've just been hacking away on it. Yeah, thanks, Code Poppy. Although we're wrapping up, we've done about 3 hours today. So to give you an idea, I've put in about an hour of work outside of what I've live streamed for this project. Because, again, I'd said I wanted to sort of do all this together. And I think I've done 11 hours before the stream. So in total, what we saw is 14 hours of content streamed, and essentially of 15 hours of work. So this is what I can get done in 15 hours, building a application. So is it for learning code? Yeah, that'll be the idea. It's going to be a dev documentation site, really, at the end of the day, with a mixture of video and a sort of advanced content and simple content. That's the 2 main differentiating pieces. So once I'm done actually building wireframes and mockups are so hard. So but yeah, once I'm actually done building the front end, I have to then go and build the back end. Now I could have some giant JSON in the application, but I don't think I want to do that. So I got to build a CRUD back end, and once I do that, I have to then film all the content. How many more sessions do you think it will take? I mean, it all depends on like what features we want, right? So like if we look at the Trello board, I have, let's look at my Trello board real quick, refresh this. And I haven't put too much time into things. So like translations is something I want to set up. So this is a to-do. Breadcrumbs. I got to build breadcrumbs for the category plus pages. Fixing the navigation, offline, online mode. So this is probably something that should go over here in the mobile backlog for the PWA. So like we have this whole section of just making it, making a mobile version. I haven't done any mocks for what mobile is going to look like because this is a desktop first application due to the nature that it's for developers. Scroll to the top button. When you scroll down, different themes. I'm building a dark theme for it. I want to integrate light themes. User login so that you can do things like top 5 favorite links, search. I mean, it really depends what it is that it depends on how deep we want to go and how many things. But if I had to throw a guess onto when I would be releasing an alpha version, like when it would actually be out there, not counting the amount of content, I would say about 160 hours. And mind you, we're at 14, so we're about 10% of the way there for what I want to have released. So that's what I think it's going to take at the end of the day to get out what I want to be out. Will there be videos in my application? Yes, videos are going to be the forefront of the application. Really just think of it as a Mozilla and a W3 combined that also has videos. But yeah, so today, the rest of the day, I'm going to take care of some other things, but I think I'm going to be doing some mock-ups for the details page and continue to sort of fine-tune the categories page. And then, like anything, like take this for instance, generic modal. This is just an email subscription list. So I build a generic modal that goes with it, and you can see here was the cookies, and I did a little bit. I added the info thing on there and info icon, and it just as bugs come and design bugs and you refactor, and this is the first iteration, right? So it'll be a minute, but yeah, what I think I'll do is I'll release. Originally, I was going to do just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and wait until I had all 3 done to release. I just don't think I can get the content. Like, there's so many videos for JavaScript that's going to take me so long. So what's the business model? Well, it's going to be free. So the business model is going to be Patreon/PayPal, all that sort of stuff. But also there's going to be ad revenue. So essentially the videos will have ads on them, and you can play the video and watch an ad. There will also be, down the road, other ways that you can get premium versions. So if you find out that you like the site and courses, so you'll see here, like instantly I'm already including books. There'll be affiliate links for these books that are associated with them. And, you're in the JavaScript section. Hey, here are some books I recommend for JavaScript. And this is actually courses. So you'll have access to courses that are recommended for that I recommend that you check out. And so you can jump through them. And so there'll be affiliate links in the beginning to get things going. There might be like a little ad right here on every page. I'm not really too sure about that. I'm going to start with the affiliate links, and the videos themselves may have ads. And what may happen, and this is way down the road, is that you offer a premium version where you get access to full-length courses for $5 a month on top of the free documentation. And so, you build that stuff, but really it's just ads. Ads and affiliate links will be the business model. It won't be like when you go on Forbes and there's 5 million ads. There'll be one ad in the bottom corner with no sound and just text. But at the start, it's just going to be affiliate links. I haven't really thought about monetizing it other than that right now. But yeah, I mean, and so another, I mean, I've thought a little bit about it. Like another idea is like, hey, I do translations, and translating the content's fine, but when you get to the video section, that gets a little bit more complicated, because in JavaScript, there's probably going to be 400 videos, 400 like 1 or 2 minute videos. And then you say, okay, well, now I have to do it in Spanish. So perhaps what I do is you pay that $5 a month. And guess what? Not only do you get access to all the English content for free, but with that I'm paying, contractors to do a Spanish version of that same content so that it makes sense. And, we'll see. We'll see what happens. What I think I might do is I might tackle all the English videos, and then I'll open it up to people to do the other languages, and then sort of it's this single source of truth that has different languages in terms of the video content that meets the sort of criteria that we want, and then people can support that way. So there's a lot. I mean, making money on something is not something I'm ever worried about. I can figure that out quite easily. You can see right here my to-do high priority, PayPal support, Patreon support. I have to figure out how I'm going to add those into the UI, which is my current issue. Like, where am I going to put these icons? Am I going to put it in the bottom right, down here? What am I going to do with it? I'm not quite sure yet. But yeah, so these are all things that you think about as you build out your application. Because I have to pay for the video hosting, all that stuff. How many languages will your videos be available? It's going to be English only to start, right? I got to record a couple hundred videos just for JavaScript. And then what I'll do is I'll look at my analytics and I'll see how much money I'm making, and then I'll start paying people to do it in various languages. And I'll just go most popular to least. That'll basically be it. But that's definitely a feature down the road. The translation setup currently is to translate the text content. So this is something I need to set up as well. Yeah. Like that. Really, the idea for me is like, have you ever like looked at the map function and you just wish you could go and see what map does, and then you're like, I wish I could just watch a video and someone actually explain it to me in English. That's really what I'm trying to do with the site. The web app. So it's gonna be a minute, but we got a lot of cool stuff going on. You can see I have this low priority sort of how I'm gonna handle all this sort of stuff, and as I come up with ideas, I was like, okay, cool, let me just continue to work on that. But anyhow, guys, that's it for me. It's time for me to get back to some other grinds. You might see me a little bit later today working on this. I'm going to probably reach out to Ricky and get some input about some of the stuff I did. But with that all being said, I wish you all a wonderful weekend if I don't see you again. And check out my courses. There's links in the description. See you guys next time. Bye.